Hello again, YouTubers. It looks like it's Thomas time again, and this time I've got to show you a second-hand Thomas Hornby set from around about 1987. If the instruction sheet date is correct, I'll show you that later. So Thomas got some damage here, but never mind. I've tried to repair the box a little bit, and any inclinable weighting in there, and some track which is steel track, not the new nickel silver stuff. There's nice artwork of Thomas there. Now this one is from the TV series, isn't it? It's quite a good picture. You can even see almost like these little felt dots on the eyes there, haven't they? And little scuff marks here and there. Look at the base there. You've got it's black, but because of the scratches that probably happened during filming, you can see the red underneath. And you've got the crank pins. You can see the circlips there holding on the rods, and the steps are not quite straight. And it's actually got a driver. Can you see? Those were the days when they had drivers. I don't know what they do these days. They just seem to go around on their own, don't they? And yeah. So I'll have a look at the box sides in a minute. Just before we do the sides, let me just look at this picture again. It's old artwork. I wonder if it comes from the old books from the, was it 1940s, 50s when they first came out. But look at Thomas there. There's his driving wheels there. 3 on this side, 3 on the other, and you've got a wagon with 2. And what's that wheel there? It just to me looks like an erroneous wheel. Belongs to nothing. I like the wagon there. It's a blue one. We have seen blue ones in the series, haven't we? With a bit of coal in it. That reminded me of a cup. I think it was bought for my son years ago. The artwork's very similar, isn't it? There's Thomas. It's storming out of a tunnel. And can we see the wheels? There's Thomas's wheels. One wheel we can see of a wagon. I think is it brown wagon with coal. Then you've got a van. Then you've got another wagon with timber in, maybe sheets of wood or something. Look how they've handled the wheels there. They've just covered them in smoke, haven't they? A bit lazy, that, isn't it? But it makes you wonder where these odd little wheels come from, doesn't it? It's a nice little cut, that. Yeah, you can read that, can't you? Nice. Sorry about that. Right, the box. Let's have a look. Right there. Can you read that? Oh, I've just dropped something on the floor. Now at your Hornby dealer, Percy. No picture of him, but they're telling you in 1987, but he's available. And he, of course, available, of course. And a brake van. Now, the ones I saw that came out had brown, what do you call these? Verandahs, extensions, platforms. They're brown, not black. And that looks correct, but I can't see the face. And that one also I can't see the face on there. It looks like the chassis is not quite correct. I think it should be more like that. This has got that bar across it. And the milk tanker, I thought I had got, but I've not got that one. Okay. Let's have a look on the side. There we go. Contents. Thomas 2 coaches track power clip. Now, it did have a black lump of a train controller come transformer in it, and it was horrible. I'm sorry. I've got rid of it. It's horrible, so I won't say any more about that. Let's get the top off. Now let's see. Here we are. Coaches track. That's where the transformer was, and the wires and stuff. I've kept some of the wires, but the rest is gone. Now, the previous owner, very thoughtfully, had put 3 wagons in the back here for me, which is very nice, isn't it? So here we are. These have got the brown platforms on there instead of black. But apart from that, I think it's a standard brake van. I've changed the wheels. I like the metal ones on the brake van just to hear the click click as it runs along. What have we got here? Good one. There's the face. It's a sort of a basic face, isn't it? But I think these are the wheels that come with it. This was actually damaged. Both buffers were damaged on this, so I've actually given it a new chassis, another chassis, the same design, so it's as is it should be. This one, face again, and I think this is the chassis it came with, and the wheels. I've given them all a good clean. This is that foam stuff. Look, you can put what colour you want in really, can you? That's just something I put in. Okay, so what I don't know what was in this slot here when the set was new. I just don't know. So I'll put them back in. And let's have a look round it. We've got Annie here. There's Annie. There she is. There's the face. So that's the front, isn't it? Can you see? I've actually put some people in. It's not that easy to see, is it? Shall I turn around? It was a bit of an awkward job because there aren't any seats in there. You have to construct your own seats, really. I bought a row of seats from the inside of a long coach, and I cut them up to suit these shorter coaches, and then you can put little people in. I think these are the original wheels, I think, the plastic ones. Clarabelle's very similar, of course. I've put people in there as well. Again, it's not easy to see, is it? And in the last compartment I've put the guard. There's no seats in there. I think he's hoping to have a bit of luggage or parcels or whatever. And she's got the face on the back. That's right. So I think they did have the plastic wheels from the off, as far as I know. So so that's that one. And then this space here, I can now put some extra wagons. I'll pick this one up off the floor. Oh, right, and then it can go in here. It's a lot more fun than a horrible controller, aren't they? I've got another one with a face on, so it's got the correct chassis and wheels. I think this one was actually filthy when I got it. I usually clean these things, you know, just nice and warm, soapy water, and an old toothbrush. It gets all the muck out. It's great. You can go in there, and this isn't a Thomas series, but the brown is very similar, isn't it? I just thought it kind of went with them. White roof, white wheels. So the space for that as well. There we go. There, that's it. Alright, that good. Let's have a look at Thomas now. Okay, let's ease him out now. Let's see what we've got here. There we go. Now then. To be honest, I wasn't really going to get this Hornby Thomas because I've got the Bachmann one and I've got clockwork ones and so on. And we had one, me and my dad had one of these back in the 90s and it wasn't very good. It wasn't a very good runner. But I think this one's proved me otherwise. But really what it was that face. Look at that face. That's great. It's not the one I normally see on the Thomases at train fairs and so on. Now this lamp, inside the box was a little bag and it had 2 vacuum pipes and a white sprue with a lamp and a white circle. So I've glued those 2 together and just a little blob of Evo stick and they're on there now. So I just thought that's where they belonged. And the whistle, I didn't realise when I bought it, there was a whistle missing. The one on the right is the correct one, the one on the left is the one I've put in. It's the only one I've got, so it'll have to do for now. Inside you've got a bit of cab detail, and you look at that. It's very good because the motor's in the middle, but it's smaller than the old XO4s which used to stick out at the back. No lamp at the back. So that's the one. Now it wasn't running that smoothly when I got it. there seem to be a couple of problems. Can you see underneath there, there's a brass strip up there, and that collects the current from the wheels. I think they're called pickups. This one was too close to the chassis, so it was only touching this wheel now and again. And it's only got 4 pickups, so it needs them all the time. So I had to take this bottom plate comes off, and the wheels drop out. These have actually got brass bearings there. Well, this one hasn't. It just runs up and down in a slot. Can you see it goes up and down? And at the top of that slot are 2 tiny little springs, and it makes it sprung loaded. Can you see? And the new Thomases I think you buy now don't have that. This is just the idea they had then, and the traction tyres there. So it's a balancing act. It's got to pick up the current from these 4 and drive a little bit with these traction tyres there. Now of course these will perish over time, won't they, because the rubber. Well, that's that. And then I don't know if you can see through the spokes there, you might just see some scratches because there was a strange lump on the chassis behind that wheel, and he was making it uneven to run. It was hitting it. So of course with the wheels out I could just get a big file on there and get rid of that tiny lump. I don't know why it was there. It baffled me. So you can see some scratches there. I've used a black marker pen to hide the scratches that I made with the file. That's all done. And so once I've done that and got this pickup in the right tension, we were winning then. If I can just I'll take one of these 9-volt batteries with me to the train fairs. It's a good idea just to test these things work, you know. There it is. Okay, I'm running on the flanges, not the surfaces of the wheels, so it doesn't give you a full idea of what's going on. But it gives you a rough idea of what's happening, if the pickups are working and if the motor's working and so on. Just turn it round, you go the other way. This one isn't a full charge. If you get a full 9-volt, it'll probably turn faster than this. But that's what I do anyway, just to see if the thing moves. Does help, doesn't it, if it actually moves. And then you're onto a winner somewhere or other. So that's the electric Thomas. Just for comparison, I've got the clockwork one here. And I've already done a video on this. And but I just thought, oh, let's have a look at the two together. There they are. Isn't that very similar? I think it's slightly wider for the electric one because the boiler's wider, but I mean apart from that, the eyes and the nose and the mouth to me look the same, but they've actually just increased the diameter to fit the boiler on the electric one. That's nice, isn't it? I still like that one because of the charm. It's got charm, hasn't it? I don't know how you measure charm. Well, this one has too, but it's so long, isn't it? I mean, let's put this in. Look at that. And I've shown you the Bachmann one, haven't I? It's a version the same as this, dimension-wise. So the Hornby one is pretty long, isn't it, really? I know they modelled it starting with the E2, didn't they? The Southern engine, that was the starting point. And they made some alterations since and so on. But it seems okay now. And so when you add something to the engine like that, I've cut an extra slot in the box there because if you put the engine in there, it'll snap the lamp off, won't it? So you got to, if you put accessories on the engine, modify your box to suit, and then they don't snap off as soon as you put them in. Just, you know about this brake van. This one was on a short chassis, and just for a bit of fun I thought I want to make a longer one out of this, so I put it on a longer chassis. And these little platform ends are just cardboard, and actually in real life I think these are huge lumps of concrete on both ends to get it up to 20 tons, which is pretty heavy, isn't it? It needs to be, won't it, for the brake force to slow help the driver slow the train down. because in those days many of the wagons didn't have vacuum brakes, so the driver couldn't control the brakes, so the guard in this van had to assist the locomotive drivers in slowing the train down. So they'd have some heavy duty brake pads down here to help to slow the train down, and the weight here to do that. I just thought I'd point that out. When I bought the set, it came with some instructions, and can you see the date on there? The number's on the right, 1187. All I can take it is that's the year 1987. Whether the 11 is November, I don't know. So that gives me an idea what's going on. And all the usual Thomas set, Percy set, and there are other leaflets in here as well. But that's the idea of Thomas there, with the 6 wheels and that tiny little motor there in the black holder, sitting at an angle there like the old XO4 used to do. And to take the top off, you just put this screwdriver in there and lever it out. It seems a bit rough, but that's how to get the top off. But the paperwork's in here, and that's nice. And that's that bit. And also, the chap gave me this. It's the cardboard bit, which it forms the base of the Clockwork set box. So you'd have to destroy the Clockwork set to do this. But this is a separate sheet, and that's obviously a tunnel. He cut that out and glue these tabs around. And who we got here? Driver and Sir Topham Hatt. And over on the other side, we've got signals. Are those signals facing the right way? And trees and so on, and that shows you how what to do. Cut them out and bend them up. So whether I'll do that, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, this came with it, and that was that. So all that remains now is to see him in action, isn't it? Let's get him moving. Nice. Should go backwards as well. Isn't it nice? It's quite low geared for what some people might consider as a toy. I don't know. Nice. Even if he does look long compared to the other Thomases I've got. Let's try some of those wagons, shall we? As you know, tank engines can go backwards as well. I'm bringing to a halt there. I've shown you this thing before. It's a Triang D coupler. I don't know if you can see the markings on there. Triang R160. Made in England. I bet a lot of these got thrown away because people didn't know what they were. Looks a bit like a spade or a shovel, doesn't it? And it goes underneath there like that. You have to push the wagons together slightly and the hooks come up. And you can drive your engine away. So if you see one of these lying around at the train fairs, try and get one. Thing is, the dealers probably know what they are, and they might want a few quid for one of these just because there's only a few of them seem to be hanging around. And if you don't want to do that, make your own. This one is a piece of plastic. It's got timber on it, timber markings, but that doesn't matter. This was like a sprue off a kit. You know, one of those Airfix type kits, you know. And I've just, have I done ever painted it? I can't remember now, I've had this for years. And I paint the end white just so I could see where I've put it. So if I wanted to uncouple something, excuse me Thomas, say I want to split these two vans for instance, I could put the thing under there. And then let Thomas come up and Oh, sorry about that. We'll do take 2, and it's in between the wagons there. Come on, Thomas. Now then, it's tilted back there, can you see? And hopefully, there we go. Thomas has got his wagons. So that's just another way of doing it instead of having that ramp, the Hornby ramp. But they have to fit those on the straight. This is actually 3rd radius curve actually at the moment. You can use these anywhere. So that's the homemade one, and that's the triangle one. That's it. I think Thomas wants the whole train. Don't you, Thomas? Yes, please. Well, there we go. That's it for now. Okay, hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see what else we can find in the next few days, eh? Bye for now.